At the age of 62, I was unfit, unwell, and unconfident. At the time, I asked my medical professionals whether it was ever possible for me to heal myself. And I was told it's not possible. It's only a managed decline. How wrong were they? Oh my God. It turned out it was actually so simple. In the next few minutes, I'll take you through a little bit of my story. Hopefully, if you are in a similar condition or if it resonates, you'll be able to use the same method to cure yourself. You know what? The human body does not care about whether somebody's got PhD in physiology or is the best doctor in the world if they do not follow the simple evolutionary attributes that made us who we are today. And what I found out, even though a lot of medical professionals told me I'll be on medication for the rest of my life in a managed decline, that if I go back to basics and I follow a very simple routine that goes with the body's nature, that it's possible to cure oneself of any disease. Let me take you through what I have been through. Basically, I've divided my journey into 4 phases, just to make this conversation simple. Phase 1, I call that youthful normality. That's between when I was basically the age of 0, or when I was young, to age 32. To be honest, I had youth in my favor. I didn't have any conditions, or those conditions were not able to subdue me. So I felt okay, I felt energetic. There was nothing wrong with me at the time, or at least I knew of nothing that was wrong with me. But at the age of 32, between the ages of 32 and 42, I started to face a very slow decline. Now, it wasn't dramatic, but I could feel the decline. That's why I call it the slow decline. So that's my phase 2. By the time I was 42 years of age, I started to face the fast decline. Now, this may resonate with most of you. As soon as you begin to hit your 40s and beyond, all the conditions you may have may begin to get worse faster. So I begin to face what I call the phase 3, which is the fast decline. And for another 20 years, that really became a problem. By the time I was 62, today I'm 64, and that was about 2 years ago, it's just climaxed. I had a full-blown diabetes, I had high blood pressure, I had high cholesterol, I was overweight, and I was totally discouraged about life. And it's at that time, my doctors, my medical professionals, things I read about, people I talk to, all told me, at 62, you have got those conditions, you just have to live with them. You have to just manage them, which is why I call sometimes the managed decline. And I refused to accept this. And I went back to basics. And I decided to follow a very simple routine. Now, I may have picked this up in my readings because I read quite a lot. I decided to construct a very simple process that took me back to simple, natural ways of living. And that's what changed the game for me. Now, let me take you through the system. So the first thing I did was I instituted and installed a very simple, consistent daily priming morning routine. Now, I've got a video about this. You can listen to that after this video, but it consists of about 5 steps. Basically, I wake up, step 1, hydrate and mineralize. Then I do body weight exercises. Then I do weight training. Then I do HIIT on my stationary cycle. Then I do a little bit of resting and meditation. Really simple. There is a video about this on the same channel. You can go there and listen to that in more detail. But the number 1 in the system is that consistent daily priming morning routine. I do that every day. It's non-negotiable. So that's my first pillar in the system. The second pillar in the system is I started to eat whole foods only. Absolutely nothing else. It has to be whole foods. I'm not fussed about keto. I'm not fussed about carnivore, just whole foods. Very clean. The next one is I try to drink nothing else apart from water. The only other thing I drink with water is creatine powder. That is explained in my daily morning routine. You can listen to that, as I said already. But I drink water only as much as possible. The next thing is I do daily outdoor walks. Now, sometimes it's difficult to do this, but I still try to do it almost every day. So I make it almost non-negotiable, even if it's for five minutes. The last one is I maintain a positive mental attitude about everything. Now, sometimes it looks ridiculous, but when something that looks really bad or negative has happened to me, I always look at what potentially it has for me in terms of good. Now, I'm always reminded of a saying I've read many times a long time ago. In every adversity, there is within it a seed of greater good. Now, I live by that, which then means if something good happens to me, that's great. It's probably come from something bad that's happened before. Or if something happens now, which is not considered to be good, again, I don't say, oh my God, what's happened? I almost assume within it there is something which is greater than that bad, a greater good. So nothing bad happens to me. And I think that played a part because it keeps me absolutely positive about everything that happens, no matter what. So this is the system. Now, this is so simple. It's so easy to overlook. It's so easy to rebuff as something that, well, what's new here? There is nothing new, and there shouldn't be anything new. Because, like I said, our physiology does not care about fancy, elaborate ideas. What it cares about is how it is evolved and how it wants to continue to evolve. All the new modern ways of living that we live today tends to be over-engineering of a very simple evolution. So this is what I do. Today, I'm in phase 4. I told you about phases 1 to 3, up to the first decline. In phase 4, I'm 64 years of age today. I've reversed everything. That phase 4, I call it the simple reversal. Between the ages of 62 to 64, almost just 18 months, I not only cured myself of all the syndromes I had, but I also changed my body composition to the extent that people say I'm jacked or I'm aesthetic. Now, I don't tell myself that, but people do tell me, and they have no reason to tell me. So the message in this video is, do not ever be despondent if you are currently not where you should be. Stop and institute a very simple system. I would recommend this system because it has worked for me, but it's also worked for other people. And you'll be amazed where you'll be in anything between 9 months to 2 years. Let's go.